everybody, it's Ann Kaplan from Mommy, your mama resource from conception to college. Wherever you are on your momming journey, we are here for you. And the theme in the group this week has been family planning. And holy cow, it wasn't until I chose this topic that I realized how many things went into family with planning: number of kids, spacing of kids, when to start, when to stop. And what I want to talk about today, which I haven't talked about yet this week, is what we really think of, or me personally anyway, when someone says family planning. What I think of is birth control. And the last thing I want to talk about is a really cuckoo thing that I thought some people might be really interested in, which is the theories behind trying to pick the gender of your kids. Talk about family planning. But let's first talk about birth control. I'm not going to talk about the pill or all the different medications or surgical ways that we can have birth control, because first of all, you probably already all learned about that in sex ed. It's all readily available. I want to talk about today natural birth control methods, because I think there's a lot of ignorance and misconception out there about the ways that we can actually control whether or not we get pregnant, just by being totally in tune and aware of what's going on in our own bodies as women, our amazing, mysterious, fantastical, miraculous bodies that we have. So the first thing the method that I want to talk about with you guys is called the fertility awareness method. It is not the rhythm method. So if people tell you that you're crazy because you're doing fertility awareness method because they think that basically you just think that you're ovulating every 14 days or whatever, that's the rhythm method. It doesn't work. I would never advocate it for anybody. And fertility awareness is not the same as the rhythm method. So that's the first point I want to make. The fertility awareness method is a very complex way that you track all of the signs and symptoms that are going on in your body, specifically and most particularly your basal body temperature, but also what's going on in your special areas, your cervical mucus, and all the things that are going on with your cervix during the month, and all the other little signs that we see that come up for us throughout our cycle, so that we actually become super wise and in tune with what's going on in our bodies, and thereby know, not I think I'm probably ovulating right now because that's just how long my cycle is, but I know my body has given me these signs, and so I know for sure that I'm ovulating either today or tomorrow. You can actually get so insanely specific and fine-tuned with the fertility awareness method that you literally not only know the day that you're ovulating, but actually like what time of day that you're ovulating. And that knowledge is power. Talk about knowledge is power. You can make so many amazing decisions about having children and getting pregnant or not getting pregnant, or how you want to have sex to ensure that you're going to get pregnant or ensure that you're not going to get pregnant with that information. So this is a very, very, very broad overview of the fertility awareness method, but I really encourage you to check it out. And the book that I really wish that every single woman was given the day she started her period is called, oh my God, it just escaped my head. Taking Charge of Your Fertility. I was way too old when I read that book. Like, I thought that I knew everything about how a woman's body worked and how to protect myself and all of those things. And when someone gave me that book and I read it, it was like literally every chapter I was like, what? Why did I not know this? Wait, what? I didn't know this either? Like, how is this? All this amazing stuff happening in my body all the time, and I have no clue. So my kids are all very aware of fertility and stuff like that, and my daughter will definitely be getting a copy of that book when she has her first period or when she's ready to read it. Obviously, every family has to make their own decision, but that book, Taking Charge of Your Fertility, explains all about the fertility awareness method, but it's not just about getting pregnant or not getting pregnant. It's so much more. So I really, really encourage you to read that book. And does it work? Yes, it totally works, you guys. But I want to give you a few caveats if you are using the fertility awareness method already, or if you're wondering if it's a possibility for you to use it. The fertility awareness method doesn't work that great when you are breastfeeding still, when you have a lot of travel going on in your life, or if you have like health concerns and things like that, like if you get sick a lot or if you're just sick in general, it can really be hard to predict these things that you that you can get really specific and fine-tuned and aligned with if you aren't going through that stuff. So if you have a lifestyle where you're traveling all the time, or you're still breastfeeding, or things like that, you might not want to use fertility awareness as birth control. I still think everyone should be using fertility awareness just to have awareness and understand what's going on in their body. But let me segue from that into this choosing your kid's gender, which, do you believe me that it's possible to do that? You can't 100% obviously control anything in this world, and gender of your child is definitely something that's not in your control. But there's a really cool thing that can happen when you understand your fertility that allows you to increase pretty dramatically the odds of you conceiving a girl or a boy based on when you have sex in relation to when you ovulate. So I really, even just out of your own curiosity, encourage you to learn about it, because it's really wild, fascinating stuff. And so far in our family, for my kids, it's definitely proven true. And the theory behind it is that because X chromosome carrying sperm are heavier, because X chromosomes are way bigger than Y chromosomes, than Y chromosome carrying sperm. Y chromosome carrying sperm, or boy sperm, swim faster, and they have a shorter lifespan. That's just true. That's a scientific fact. And X carrying chromosome, or girl sperms, swim slower and live longer. So just using that information alone, I'm once again glossing over the very broad strokes of this concept, but just using that information alone, you can imagine that if you want to have a girl, you have a higher chance of conceiving a girl if you've had sex a few days before you ovulate, because by the time you ovulate, all those male swimmers will have died away, and all that's left in your fallopian tubes is X swimmers. And conversely, if you want to have a boy, you have a higher chance of conceiving a boy if you're having sex right on the day you ovulate or the day after you ovulate. So anyway, I think that stuff is fascinating, and I love seeing how it plays out in real life. And should you ever put all of your eggs in any basket of birth control or family planning or trying to pick the gender of your kids? No way. You'd be crazy to do that. There's certain things in this life that are outside of our control, and family planning is one of those things. So just like when it comes to birth, we do all we can to up the odds to come out the way we want it to, and that's about all we can do. So I hope that was fascinating for you, and at least, if not, and I would love to hear from you guys about whether these theories have borne out for you, if you've used the fertility awareness method, if you've ever tried to kind of up the odds in favor of a girl or a boy when you're planning your family, all those things. I think it's so interesting. And I hope you guys have an amazing week. I'll be talking about money stuff next week, so keep on tuning in. Have an amazing week, you guys. I'll talk to you again soon.